has got it done. We are ready to roll now. So, we get the topic number one of the conversation here, folks, and this is on Alabama's running back room, right? This is a position group nobody's talking about. When people look at the best running back group in the country, they look at Ohio State's. Partially because they've got Quinshon Judkins, who's really good, transfer from Ole Miss, and a few other guys on the roster. But when you look at Alabama's running back room, it's got a two-headed monster. I'm almost tempted to say a three-headed monster when you discuss Justice Haynes, Jam Miller, and Richard Young. But I go two-headed monster because of Richard Young, because of Justice Haynes and Jam Miller. This is one of the best duos, if not the best duo in college football in that running back room in the upcoming season. Both guys bring something different to the table. Justice, the former five-star in the 2023 class, by the way of Buford High School in Georgia, he brings the power, he brings the explosiveness, physical toughness, contact balance, can create and make a hole where there's no hole there, does bring versatility as well. A guy that we saw in the Rose Bowl game to end 2023, he ripped off some nice runs against Michigan's defense. And there's a reason why Tommy Rees is no longer the offensive coordinator for Alabama football. Part of that reason, when Justice Haynes had the hot hand, he took the ball away from him. That's part of the reason why Tommy Rees is no longer in Tuscaloosa. But I digress. Justice Haynes can flat ball. We saw him this past spring. Looks even better. Gotten even better. Continues to work with his guy, Markel Beckwith, in that training facility that he has and that he provides and does. But when you look at Jam Miller, Jam brings you speed, burst, explosiveness, quickness on the perimeter. He can run outside the tackles really well. He can run in between the tackles well also. Versatility as a pass catcher. Going back to last year, 4 catches for 73 yards for Jam, including a wheel route for a touchdown against Georgia in the SEC championship game. This is a dynamic duo right here. But the question is, can Jam be the lead back for Alabama? And by the lead back, it's can Jam lead the team in rushing attempts and rushing yards? That's the big question right there. Jam is older than Justice. Jam came in the 2022 class by the way of Tyler Legacy High School, Tyler, Texas. Had a very productive high school career. He came in as a 4-star. He came in with Emmanuel Henderson Jr. We know the story. E-Man got moved to wide receiver. Part of the reason why, he had more of the body makeup to be a wide receiver. Jam had more of the body makeup to be a running back. And so Jam, his freshman year, did some good things in 2022. Last year, he had 41 carries, 201 yards, a touchdown there. So he's learning to be more of a vocal leader. I got a chance to talk with Robert Gillespie, Alabama's running backs coach, back in the spring, and he mentioned how Jam, he's always been more of that lead by example guy, but he's become more vocal about it. He's become more talkative with teammates, expecting more, from them and more from himself as well. So is it Jam's time to be that lead back? Because when you look at Kalen DeBoer's offense, it sets up for Jam to do that because of his versatility, because of his speed on the perimeter, because of his burst and his explosiveness, because he can do a lot of things. This offense sets up for Jam to be that guy. Yes, Jamarcus Shepard, wide receivers coach and co-OC, mentioned, we're going to want to pass the football, but we would be foolish not to run the ball. So you can tell that there's going to be some balance, and a lot of balance in this offense. And with Jam, he can honestly have a year, Eli, where he could have 600-700 yards rushing, lead the team. But he could also have 400-500 yards receiving. Like, Jam could have that kind of a year. I equate him as Josh Jacobs 2.0. Remember Jacobs' final year at Bama, which was 2018. I think Jacobs had, 646 yards rushing that year? I think he led the team in rushing yards and rushing touchdowns with 11, if I'm not mistaken. And then Josh also had, 5 touchdown catches in 2018? Josh did a lot, both ends. He also returned kickoffs, too. So, I look at this offense. With Jam Miller, he can be the lead back. He can truly be the lead back. Justice is going to have major success this year. But I look at this offense, Jam could 100% be the lead back. He's got a name that needs an NIL deal with Smuckers. He needs that Smuckers NIL deal right now. But I 100% look at Jam as he can be the lead back for this team in the upcoming season. We'll see how things shake out first and foremost in fall camp. We go to our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting started here on a Friday. When we get back, we go to the phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. We definitely want to hear from you, the Bama fans, right after this.
TDA Plus is the all-new Ultimate Alabama Football Package, perfect for any Alabama football fan. Not only do you get subscriber-only articles where you can stay up to date on everything that's going on with Alabama football, you also get our brand new video hub that features many podcasts and shows, including Steven's Report with Stephen M. Smith. With over 15 years of covering Alabama football, you get trusted information as Stephen goes in person to see the team come back and break down to you what he saw live in person. You also get the Way It Is podcast with Stephen M. Smith, where he tells never-heard-before stories and crazy situations that happened during his 15-year tenure of covering Alabama football. You also get Justin and Dex, where they break down recruits like you've never seen it before, with exclusive behind-the-scenes information and exclusive interviews with recruits. You also get Justin's Recruiting Bites with Justin Smith, where you get the best up-close and personal recruiting information and even talks to you while he's on the road going to recruiting events. Alabama fans, you don't want to miss this huge offer for a jam-packed experience for only $7.95 per month. Visit touchdownalabama.com and become a TDA Plus member today.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right. We're back into the action, folks, from the break on a Friday, TGIF edition of the show. Number one forum for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy that you guys can hear the show now. My guy Eli, Johnny on the spot in that production room, getting that sound back there for everybody. Gotta show some love to LA Miles. Let's go with that $2 donation, dropping the love there in the bucket. Daily Super Chat Go, $100. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate that from all of you. Continue smashing the like button, hitting that subscribe button, making this your platform for all things Bama football. As you guys are getting your thoughts together to call in, call segment gets brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. The number to call in to let your voice be made known, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. We definitely want to hear from all of you. But as you guys are getting your thoughts together to call in, we got a call topic. How about a former Alabama quarterback into the money? Ooh, money! Tua got paid. Double T in the morning. Tua Tagovailoa got paid by the Miami Dolphins. Got his deal. $214 million, $167 million in guarantees, $53.1 million a year. Tua got his money. And we knew the Dolphins were going to pay him. It was only a matter of when, right? When we saw Jared Goff get his deal for the Lions, when we saw Trevor Lawrence get his deal from the Jaguars, when we saw a couple of these quarterbacks get new deals, we knew Tua's was coming. It was only a matter of, okay, how quickly could Chris Grier and the front office get this done? We knew it was coming. But kudos to Tua. He's got his deal. Over $200 million, $167 million guarantees. He's making $53.1 million a year. Tua got paid. So Tua's now the third highest paid quarterback in the league. He's behind Trevor Lawrence and one more person, Eli. Is it Jared Goff? Is it Goff and Mahomes? Oh, okay. So he's behind Lawrence and Mahomes then. Okay. He's behind Lawrence and Mahomes then. So Tua, third highest paid quarterback. That's crazy right there. That's awesome right there. Kudos to Tua. Got his money. So now his focus can solely now be on training camp and getting himself prepared for this upcoming season in the fall to do some big things there for the Miami Dolphins. But we go to a break right here, folks. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we get into a conversation about Alabama's got a lot of talent here. They got a lot of freshman talent, sophomore talent, junior talent. But is this the year where we see some super seniors lead this team back to hoisting a national championship? We'll talk about that after this. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh yeah, this. Oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
Here we go. We're back to the action from the break here on a Friday. Hottest show on the streets. We're talking Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama magazine. And before we get into the second topic of conversation, got some cool comments here from Plow Jogger. Plow right in the end, he's talking about who can return punts this year for Alabama. Well, Plow, Alabama's got a lot of guys that can do that. Emmanuel Henderson could do it. Ryan Williams could do it. Jalen Mbakwe could do it. Cole Adams could do it. Kendrick Law could do it. Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. could do it. Several guys can return punts. It's just putting the right guy that you trust to hold the ball, possess the ball cleanly, but most importantly, make plays out there in open space and be explosive, bringing that ball to the house. If it also plowed Brody in, can the strength and conditioning staff keep Bama strong? I think David Ballou and his staff will do an outstanding job of doing that. I think Ballou and his staff, they got it on the pulse there in terms of strength and conditioning. How about Duval Sanders with that $5 donation? Dropping that in the bucket right there. Some love there for Duval. Helping us out here on the show. At Daily Super Chat Go, people, $100 daily. Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate that coming from all of you. But topic to the conversation, Eli, and I mentioned this before the break, Bama's got talented freshmen, sophomores, juniors, right? Nick Saban left a lot in that cupboard for Kalen DeBoer to work with. He didn't leave Kalen DeBoer empty-handed. There's a lot in that cupboard for Coach DeBoer. But the question becomes, could this team be led by super seniors? What am I referring to when I say super senior? I'm referring to an individual that's been at Alabama at least 5 years. Once you hit that fifth year senior mark, you are a super senior. Once you hit that fifth year. So will Bama have a lot of those super seniors contribute to leading this team back to a national championship and winning that championship in Kalen DeBoer's first year? Now, what would constitute as a super senior? What would constitute is these particular players would have had to have been freshmen the 2020 season, the coronavirus year, where you had the all-SEC conference-only schedule, where you played only 10 games in the regular season, where we were all in a bubble. It was social distancing, keep your 6 feet, having your mask on, all of that, which was happening, and the nation was never the same after that. So these players would have had to have been freshmen in 2020 to have that super senior in them. So the guys I'm referring to are on screen right now. You look at the likes of Quandarius Robinson at linebacker. He's a super senior. Came in that 2020 class, former 5-star out of Birmingham. You got T.M. Smith, super senior, defensive line, former 5-star, came in that 2020 class from Florida. You got Jah-Marien Latham, super senior, came in that 2020 class from Pickens High School, Reform, Alabama, just down the road from Tuscaloosa. And then you got Malachi Moore, super senior, former 4-star, 2020 class, defensive back, came out of Hewitt-Trussville High School. These are your super seniors. These are the guys that have a national championship ring from that 2020 campaign. These are the guys that Bama's gonna depend on for leadership, for production, but most importantly, push this team in year one with Kalen DeBoer back to that national championship stage. Starting this thing off with Quandarius Robinson, this is a big year for Q-Rob. Q-Rob needs this year, right? Q-Rob has been patient. I gotta hand it to him. He's been patient. He's waited behind Will Anderson Jr., Dallas Turner, Chris Braswell. He's waited behind some dudes. So now here's his time. 6'5", 231 pounds. Q-Rob last year got on the field, did some nice things, but now at that wolf position at outside linebacker, he's got to show some stuff now. Because he's got some dudes behind him that are chomping at the bit to get out there. And some of these guys are way more explosive, or are more explosively athletic than he is, possibly. And that's where I'm referring to the likes of Keanu Coote and Quay Russaw and Yancey Pierre and Jay Sean Ross. You know, there's some guys in that outside linebacker room. Also, Keon Keeley, who can play outside linebacker or defensive end. This is a big fall camp. This is a big season for Q-Rob. He's got to show it this year. He's number one. Number two for me, Tim Smith on the defensive line. And we've been waiting for him to have that breakout, wow, big time year. We've been waiting for it. He had a good freshman year, okay sophomore year, a decent junior year. Last year, 2023, it was okay. Took a small step forward, but Bama Nation wants to know, can he be that dog this year, right? Because that's what we're waiting for. We've been waiting for Tim Smith to be that dog. If you go back and you watch his high school tape at Sebastian River High School, he was destroying everything. And we're like, whoa, we got to have that in Tuscaloosa. And it hasn't been that yet for Tim Smith. 6'4", 302 pounds. Bama Nation. They're ready. They're ready for, is it time now that we see the breakout from Tim Smith? Is it time now? Third guy, we go to Jah-Marien Latham on the defensive line. And here's another guy that patient, right? He's waiting his time behind a lot of dudes. Here's a guy that played 1A ball in high school at Pickens County in Reform, Alabama. And he was dominant out there. He's had moments in his career where he's been a bit, banged up here and there. But is it finally his moment to be effective up front? Bama's got at least 12 defensive linemen that can rotate. More than 12, but at least 12. Jah-Marien Latham either at that bandit position or the opposite defensive end. Is it time for him to finally be truly effective up front? Big year for Jah-Marien Latham. Last but not least here, Malachi Moore. And Malachi, last year we saw him bounce back. He had an incredible freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, had some injuries. Last year, bounced back fully. 52 tackles, 5 of those for loss, 5 pass breakups, an interception, team captain. Made a lot of big plays a season ago. He's on the back end of this defense. He knows, he understands. I cannot leave the capstone without a second national championship ring. That's squarely in Malachi's mind. I cannot leave the capstone without a second national championship ring here on my finger. He gets the importance of it. He knows the importance of it. Quandarius Robinson, Tim Smith, Jah-Marien Latham, Malachi Moore. These are the 4 super seniors. And how fitting is it, Eli? 3 of the 4 are all from the state of Alabama. Q-Rob from Birmingham, Malachi from Trussville, Jah-Marien Latham from Reform, Alabama. This is a big year for all four of these players, especially the three in-state guys. We're going to take another break here, folks. We're going to touch that dial. When we get back, return to the phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. We definitely want to hear from all of you, the Bama Nation, right after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care. In support of Kalen DeBoer and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
This is Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, you know, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
What's happening, people? We're back locked and loaded to the action from the break. Number one ticket here for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Happy to have you guys in here on the show. And how about a round of applause for my guy, Ty Alexander, dropping in that $10 donation. Putting the love in there for us. Appreciate Ty helping us out on the show. All of you guys donating that daily Super Chat Go, $100. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate all of you. We're back ahead of the action from the break here. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. For them to call in to let your voice be made known on the show, 205-448-1358. One more time, 205-448-1358. We want to hear from you. But we get this next call topic here, Eli. This one goes to, so you got quite a few Bama players that have shared their jersey number for fall camp in the upcoming season on social media. We've seen Ryan Williams. He'll be wearing number 2. Noah Carter, number 24. Amari Jefferson, number 17. I think Rico Scott's number 11. So we've seen different guys so far post on their social media their jersey number for the upcoming season. We even saw Caden Proctor post a photo to his Instagram. Caden dropped weight. Caden looked good. Leaner frame. Going to help him a lot in pass protection. Going to help him out a lot in run blocking. Going to help him out a lot in becoming an All-American offensive tackle for the Crimson Tide. So pleased to see that photo there of Caden Proctor on his Instagram. Him cutting down on body fat, slimming down, leaner body, because people look at the center guard for Alabama as probably, as unarguably the best in the country when you discuss Tyler Booker, Parker Browsford, and Jaden Roberts. I think this body transformation of Proctor, if you look at Wilkin Formby, he takes that right tackle position. That Alabama's got an offensive line that should win the Joe Moore Award, is my opinion. We're going to take this phone call right here. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feel, and state your name and where you calling from.
What's up with you, man? This is Jay calling from Florence.
Jay, what's going on, man? Fall camp next week, man.
Ooh, I'm ready to see some 300-pounders get after it, Steve.
Jay, I'm ready too, man. I'm ready to see some 300-pounders get after it. I'm ready to see some coaches get after it. I'm ready to see some wide receivers and some DBs get after it. I'm just ready to see it all.
Hey, your quarterback looks real good all on these sports talk shows and stuff. I like that, Mr. Heisman Miro.
Hey, Miro looks good on these TV shows, but what I've been enjoying is Miro has looked great with these private coaches having that passing down pack too.
See, just put it in their face, Bama family, right? Because this the year, man. These folks don't know what's about to happen to them, family. And I'm just going to be glad to share with y'all. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we call in, talk about how we done murdered them little puppies over there, how we stepped on the little tiger tail and he cried. I can't wait for it, Steve.
I mean, Jay, me too, because if you listen to all of these talk shows, this Bama team is so criminally slept on right now. I was watching one talk show. This dude had Ole Miss and Missouri over Bama. I'm like, what?
Man, come on. See, all of that. I just love all of that. That way, the smack will feel a little better when we do it to them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Ain't never been better than Bama, man. Missouri ain't never. You see what I'm saying? So all this hoping and wishing that they got going on, boy, I cannot wait for Bama to be the person that crushes the dreams. I can't wait, man. And I just pray everybody make it through fall camp safe, injury free, man. You know, the last couple of years we've been all right with that. We've been making it through fall camp, so I pray that go good too, y'all.
Oh, absolutely. My main thing is that David Ballou, as the strength coach, continues to do his thing, get these guys safely through fall camp so we can have these guys on the field so they can make some stuff happen out here on this field.
Steve, can I give you my slept on players for the season?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go James Smith, and I'm gonna go Robbie Ouz. I got Robbie Ouz with like 5 to 8 touchdowns, right?
Okay.
Crazy. You see what I'm saying? And I got James Smith doing some real like Jonathan S. type. You know what I'm saying? He always in the backfield, but he gonna be young. You know what I'm saying? They gonna just spot play him, but it's gonna be so great. Like dang, every time he get in there for them 3-4 plays, some shake. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Them the two I'm riding with. Put it in their face, Bama family. I'm talking about if you see your coworker sit there enjoying his little sandwich, just walk over there and whisper, "Roll Tide." I bet he gets sick to his stomach. He got to call out for the next day. Because they don't want to see us do it, baby, and we about to do it. So go put it in their face now. Roll Tide. I love y'all, man.
Appreciate Jay from Florence Carl is here on a Friday. He's got his 2 sleeper picks, or Eli. So he's got Robbie Ouz, 5 to 7 touchdowns. That's interesting. Robbie Ouz does that? Do you know what that will remind me of, Eli, if Robbie Ouz does that? Charleston Fowler. That's what that would remind me of if Robbie Ouz does that, Charleston Fowler. And he's got James Smith doing a lot of Jonathan Allen type things in spot play. I like that. I can go with that. How about Jason Hayward dropping in that $5 donation in the bucket there? Appreciate the love there from Jason, helping us out here on the show. Always good to hear Jay from Sheffield. Man, that's awesome. Fall camp, people, is next week. Wednesday of next week, we return to Tuscaloosa to get all of this footage, video, pictures, interview, whatever you want to have for Crimson Tide Fall Camp. Man, I'm pumped up for this. We take our final break here, folks, from the show, and touch that down. When we get back, cool discussion. Special teams. Kind of a underrated quality for Alabama. But why will it be a strength this season? We'll wrap things up with that after this.
I'm Malachi Moore. You're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
What's going on? This is Benny Bice. I'm the founder and owner of Touchdown Alabama. And you guys are supporting one of the only independent outlets covering Alabama football today. No other sports, no networks, just Alabama football. Roll Tide Roll.
All right, people, we appreciate all of you checking out the show this evening on a Friday TGIF edition of the show. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama magazine. But final discussion here of conversation, Eli. This one goes to special teams. A very underrated quality when you look at college football, primarily Alabama football. Now, we know legendary coach Paul W. Bear Bryant, he made special teams a priority. We know early in the Nick Saban era, what did Coach Saban used to tell his quarterbacks? He would say, look, guys, anything ending in a punt, field goal, or extra point is always a good possession. He would say that early in his coaching tenure at Alabama. When you look at Alabama special teams this year, that's another area that not a lot of people talking about, but Alabama's got big experience in this area. Number one, you bring back your punter, James Burnap from Australia. Burnap had a big year last year. People lose sight of that. 2022, Burnap averaged 42.3 yards a punt, right? 42.3. That's not bad. Pretty solid. Pretty good. 2022. Last year, Burnap took a step forward. He averaged 47.6 yards a punt. Nice jump there. 24 of Burnap's 57 punts were 50-plus yards, including 6 60-plus yard punts. He was booming them. Then he had several of his attempts drop inside the opponent's 20-yard line. I go back to the Rose Bowl against Michigan. Burnap put on a show against the Wolverines in the Rose Bowl. Averaged 50.3 yards a punt. Had 5 of his 7 punts drop inside Michigan's 20-yard line. If Bama would have beaten the Wolverines, James Burnap would have had a clear shot for MVP of the game. And that's not an exaggeration. If Bama would have beaten Michigan, James Burnap would have had a clear argument. I'm not saying he would have gotten it, but he would have had a clear argument for MVP of the game. So you have Burnap back. Then, although you graduated Will Riker to the NFL, he's now with the Minnesota Vikings. He's going to do well there. Kalen DeBoer made the best move out of a transfer portal, getting the Lou Groza Award winner, Graham Nicholson, from the University of Miami at Ohio. Nicholson, first team All-Mid-American Conference. Nicholson, MAC Special Teams Player of the Year. Nicholson, consensus All-American last year. Nicholson set an NCAA record with 25 straight made field goals for a single season. Nicholson had 52 or 53 touchbacks on 72 kickoffs. Nicholson had a lot of success at Miami of Ohio. Made 25 of 27 field goals last year, 35 of 37 extra points a season ago. So you got him and his accurate leg and his dependable leg handling the field goals and the kickoff. So your two kicking specialists, they got experience, which is outstanding for you on special teams. The only thought that we as Bama Nation have in terms of special teams is the return specialist, because we want Alabama to return to the days of where you had Javier Arenas in the Saban era, Christian Jones, Cyrus Jones, Eddie Jackson, Kenyon Drake, Jalen Waddle, Jamison Williams, where at any given moment, that ball touches their hands on a kickoff return or a punt return, they're taking it to the crib. Any way to score a touchdown, right? I look at this group here of return specialists. Ryan Williams can do it. Emmanuel Henderson can do it. Jalen Mbakwe can do it. Cole Adams can do it. Kendrick Law can do it. Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. can do it. Bubba Hampton, I think he can do it. There are different guys on this roster that would do very well returning kicks and punts. Now, the question becomes, number one, can they field, gather, possess the ball cleanly, judge the bounce of the ball, the trajectory of the ball correctly, because that's part of returning kicks and punts. You have to know where that ball is going. You have to judge the bounce of the ball. You have to have a feel for the trajectory of the ball. You got to make sure that you're not losing ground or you're losing yardage. And then once you possess the ball, do you have the vision and the moves to set up your wedge, set up your blockers, and then slice and dice your way through to the house? That's the main thing. Bama has a guy that can do that. Of the names that I've mentioned, there's your return specialist. When I look at this team, I think special teams is an underrated strength for this group. No one's really talking about it. But you got your punter back with experience, got a really good kicker from the portal, and you've got guys on this roster that can return kicks and punts. Fall camp, we're going to get our first taste of who will those guys be as return specialists. But as always, Bama fans, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage, entertainment on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine, the app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store. If you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store, you got the Android phone. For your audio needs, check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio, Google Play. We got you covered right there. Gotta show some love to my man Dale Bay, dropping in that $20 donation, the bucket right there. Appreciate the love there coming from Dale Bay. Absolutely. Folks, the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I'll try to be back on Monday, continuing the conversation that is Bama football. Remember, Tide fans, go ahead right now, if you haven't done so, get you that subscription to touchdownalabama.com. Fall camp is next week. Do yourself the right service. Get you that subscription to touchdownalabama.com, where you can have all things Tide at the palm of your hands all throughout fall camp. Also subscribe to our video hub, TDA Plus. We're going to be providing photos, videos, all of that non-stop action from fall camp. Get that subscription to TDA Plus. You will not regret that. Guys, show some love to all of you guys for the donations, for the calls, the chat in the YouTube chat line. Gotta show some love to my man Eli Walker in the production studio. Till next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing, too. Not be bored here as we're entering the weekend. Get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man Stephen Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.